Oh, oh my goodness, this game. Oh God, this game. What's up guys, HMK once again, here with the review from HMK of Pokken Tournament. Pokken Tournament, Pokken, whatever. Pokken Tournament. Before I get into the review, I gotta thank my good friends at Nintendo of America for providing me with a review code for the game. Thank you so much. Now, biggest thing about this game, because a lot of people has been kind of like, oh, I should get this game. Should I get this game? Hey, HMK, should I get this game? Well, it depends. It really does. Because the game plays awesome. It's so good. It's such a fucking deep fighting game. When I first tried this game out, I really didn't expect how deep this game was gonna get. It's too deep for me. Not too deep, but it's deep as hell. Alright? And before you assume that Pokken is like Pokemon Tekken, it is way more than that. I actually believe it's a little bit more deeper than what Tekken is. It's different. And that has to deal with the two phases in the gameplay. Now, before I get into the gameplay, the menus are slick, the graphics are pretty good, but you can tell this game is upscaled 720 to 1080p. It's native 720. Nothing wrong with that because the models of the Pokemon in this game are too dang real. You can see the fur in characters like Lucario and Pikachu. You can see the feathers in Blaziken. You can see the scaly skin of Garchomp and Sceptile. And what's cool is that you get to see like patterns on Gengar, and it's like all muddy as shit because I mean he is half poison, which is crazy. So they're great. The Pokemon, the sound is great. The music is awesome. The voice acting for the Pokemon, the voice acting for the people, ugh, horrible. Alright, there's a shitload of customization when it comes to this game. You can customize your avatar, which is really cool. I only go with a certain amount of items. That's why I have like a lot of money saved over, because all these other things make me look like a fuckboy, and I don't like doing that, but whatever. There's a ton of options. You can change your skin color, hairstyle, clothes, all that good jazz. It's all there. And what's crazy is this game has titles! Like Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, this game has titles. It has over 300 titles. This game too deep for me. Okay, let's go into the gameplay. The gameplay. Okay, so the gameplay of Pokken Tournament. Alright, so this is it. Alright, it is so deep, so intuitive. It forces you to think strategy on the fly because these matches go by quickly. The matches are best of two, and best of two, and the timer for official matches, tournament matches, and online matches is 80 seconds, which is pretty damn quick. And in each match, it deals with two phases: the field phase and the duel phase. The field phase is what you usually start with, and it feels a lot like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm when you look at it from far away. It's very similar to that. It's not as free roaming as you would think because Pokemon always are locked onto each other. You can't like disengage your lock and then move around. And the way that Pokemon feel when they move around, it's like certain characters like Sceptile, the really speedy ones, it feels more like a semi-restricted way run, but it still is very free in terms of other fighters. And then when you do a certain attack, like a heavy attack on your Pokemon on the opponent's Pokemon during field phase, you go into duel phase, which plays very similar to that of Street Fighter when it comes to one-on-one fights. It's a 2.5D planes like Super Smash Bros. And Street Fighter. But the inputs are not like Street Fighter. The inputs are more like Tekken, which is weird. It has that different flavor. There's no quarter turns or anything like that. There's only up, down, light, heavy attacks, and Pokemon moves. In terms of movement and jumps and stuff like that, you do block with a button. You attack with 3 different buttons and you jump with 1. And Y is your when the duel phase, because the game gets in duel phases and field phases, they have different movesets. The Pokemon, their moveset could entirely change or change a little bit, right? In duel phase, Y is low attack, X is heavy attack, A is Pokemon attack, and B is jump. And then in field phase, Y is your projectiles, X is your homing attack, and A is your Pokemon attacks. Now, the thing that gets deeper than this when it comes to dual phases and field phases is what's called the attack triangle. The attack triangle is this. There are regular attacks, you know, high, heavy, low Pokemon attacks. There are also counter attacks when you hold 2 buttons at the same time. And there are also grab attacks when you hold the other 2 buttons at the same time. Alright? And they are locked into a triangle. Attacks beat counter, attacks beat grabs, grabs beat counters, and counters beat attacks. So, to give you guys an example, let's say someone's giving you the beatdown and your guard is up, right? You grab them, obviously grabs, they pierce through guards. But if someone could read, because there's a tiny bit of opening when it comes to doing grabs or counterattacks. If they can spot or they can get a tell that you're going to do a grab attack, you can use regular attacks to pierce through that grab and give them critical hits. And that's how the critical hit system works in this game. Critical hits happen when you beat someone within the triangle, which is so intuitive. It's this game. So that also goes in regards to if someone's attacking you, but you have your counter up, the counter's going to beat regular attacks and hit them with a critical hit. And if someone is trying to do a counter attack, you grab them and just do a critical hit. And each of these attacks are highlighted with a certain color. Attacks are highlighted with red in certain instances. Counters are highlighted as blue, and grabs are highlighted as green. So that's how you can tell the difference when it comes to those tells. There's like little split chances, like a couple of frames when you see this, but experienced players can see this from far away. It's, this game! Now, the next thing you have to talk about is Synergy Bursts and Burst Limits. Synergy Bursts, if you play Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, basically it's like your awakening. If you play any other game, it's basically when you go into your super mode. You have to fill up a bar and you use both of the shoulder buttons and you go into your super mode. And this changes the game a lot because while you're in this mode, certain Pokemon, their moveset changes or gets additions to the moveset that can make their combos longer. But certain Pokemon like Gengar, which takes forever for his bar to fill up, his moveset completely changes, which is nuts. And while you're in Synergy Burst, the frame data for the Pokemon changes, so you can do combos you can only do in Synergy Burst. And then Synergy Burst. No Burst Limit. Whatever, super shit. All right. And then when you have your Burst Limit attacks, which can chain to combos, which is nuts. But the scaling of it is very wonky, especially when you have your assists coming out. If you set up with your assist, then the scaling could be can go down, or there could be no scaling. It's very weird. I haven't really put my number down on it, but all in all, it seems very balanced. And that's the thing what I love about Pokken is that each character does its own job, really. There's 4 different classes of characters. There's standard, speed, power, and technical. But every character is so unique. No one plays the same except, similarly, the 2 Mewtwo's in the game, which is Mewtwo and Shadow Mewtwo. Other than that, every other Pokemon has their own role, does their own job, has their own complete moveset, and that's great. Everyone's asking, oh, why isn't there a shitload of Pokemon? Well, because they chose these different varied Pokemon, they all do their own moves. Like, Chandelure, big shout out to my boy PK Sparks. Chandelure is a heavy-ass zoner. Sceptile, my main, is a very hit-and-run type character who has very good rush-down abilities. Machamp, he rushes down, does insane damage. Pikachu, his combo is fucking shofu, oh my god. So, that's what I have to say about it in a nutshell for the gameplay. The online is pretty robust when it comes to playing matches, and what's cool is that when I was playing online with their early copy of Pokken, it's like another YouTubers I recognize. I was like, hey, Shofu, hey, PK Sparks, hey, John Mango, hey, Awesome Face Productions, hey, 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 and we were just on Twitter, it's like, GG, you wrecked me, GG, and the online is pretty good. It has a very intuitive ranking system, which is great. I'm glad. But online doesn't have lobbies, online doesn't have spectator mode, and online doesn't have replays. So there are things missing from the game. And then now we go to the things, what's wrong with this game? Okay, things wrong about this game. Other than the Pokemon models and the arenas, the graphics are pretty, like, the Pokemon and the people in the background, they look like these, like, rusted up animatronics. Like, oh, I'm trying to move and stuff like that. I'm like, you could have added a little bit more polish to this. You could have. And then the voice acting is trash. The story mode is not that intense. It's like meh and stuff. The story mode is bleh. And another thing is that this game, I feel this game, it is accessible to a fault, but I feel that it's a little too deep for, like, you know, people who love Pokemon. It's like, I want Pokemon, man, I want to play a Pokemon fighting game, alright! And then they play this, too real for them. So that's one of the biggest inhibitors to that. And, oh my lord, when you play 2-player locally, the frame rate runs at its native 720p, 60 frames per second, which looks gorgeous. But if you play on 2-player mode, one person must use the gamepad, and they must play off of the gamepad, meaning that the perspective of the Pokemon that you're playing is going to be on the gamepad. You cannot look on the main screen, like kind of like how they do with Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, where both people look on the screen and have their perspectives wired to the controls naturally. But no, in this game, you have to play from the perspective of the Wii U gamepad. Because if you try to play off the screen, your controls are going to be inverted, because your Pokemon is going to be all the way to the back, while the person you're playing against, that's the perspective they're playing from. And the frame rate drops to this weird, like, 25 frames per second in 2-player mode. And I really think the reason why, because of that, is because, I mean, Nintendo, you can easily handle 60 frames per second games with like 8 players in Smash. The reason why I think because of that is because the Wii U is running its own version of the game while you're playing 2 players. So that's why it puts a little strain on the game itself. And I'm sorry, but that's just, it looks really ugly and cruddy when you play 2 players. Alright? Online doesn't drop down, and the game does support LAN, which is probably what they're going to use like EVO, CEO, and Worlds when they have tournaments of this game. Also, this game doesn't have a tournament mode online or offline, which is really weird. It's really weird what this game has to offer. It has a lot to offer in customization. It does a lot of things right for fighters, and then it does a lot of things wrong, which is weird. I mean, like Nintendo and Namco, when it comes to the gameplay, they get a fucking A+. Alright? When it comes to the customization, A+. Sound, when it comes to music, A+. Designs of the Pokemon, A+. Certain graphics here and there, missing features, like, unacceptable in certain regards, which is really weird. That's the one thing about Pokken that's very weird. Now, that comes to my verdict, alright? Should you get this game? If you are into fighters, if you are a fighting heavy person, get this game. This game, I have like people in my circle of friends that are heavy into fighters. I go to tournaments and stuff. They think that this is the next best thing, next big thing in fighters, and I believe them when they say something like that. This game is deep, and it is a game that fighters, people who are into the fighting community, needs to play. So if you're into fighters, if you want to get into fighters, get this game. If you are a Pokemon fan, strictly a Pokemon fan that's playing from the games and wants to play a fighting game, I would suggest that you be a little bit careful if you want to purchase this game. Because yeah, it uses Pokemon, but it's very far from a Pokemon game. Like, what do you call it? Type advantages do not matter in this game, because it's a fighter, that would be fair. So, yeah. If you're a Pokemon fan, be very wary. If you're not interested in fighters at all, I would not recommend this game. That being said, oh yeah, one thing I have to say that to cap off my review, one thing that I found that's really cool, since this is made by the people of Tekken, what's really cool is that certain characters in this game have moves that are homages to Tekken characters. Like Gardevoir has some of Lily's moves, Pikachu Libre has some of Julia's moves. Pikachu is fucking Haechi. Pikachu is Haechi. Sceptile is Raven. Charizard, he has some moves from Kazuya. People argue me with this a bit, but I feel that Shadow has some moves from fucking Jin. It's nuts. Blaziken is martial law. Garchomp is Brian, the machine gun fist. Oh god. So that this game has a lot to offer. It's very colorful, very beautiful in certain regards, but some things there are some weird things missing with this game that it shouldn't be missing at all when it comes to fighters. You can tell Nintendo and Namco put a lot of love to this game, but there are some very unpolished areas of the game. That's why I want to give Pokken Tournament, I am giving it an 8.25 out of 10. If you are into fighters, get this game. If not, it's not something you have to kill yourself over to get. That's what I say about Pokken Tournament. So guys, if you like this review, if you like anything Pokemon, if you want to do more Pokemon videos, please subscribe to HMK. Let me know in the comment section below. So, until the next HMK review, this has been HMK, and I hope to see you on Pokken. So, until then, I will check you guys later.